Hi, everybody. John Cammalleri here. I'm the Vice President of Channels for HP Canada. I am honored to be speaking with Jeffrey Jansen today. He's the Vendor Relationship Officer at PC Corp. Jeffrey, welcome. We've known each other for a long time, haven't we?
29 years, my friend. So it's great. Thank you very much for having me here today.
So, looks, I got, every time we get together, we tend to have very interesting discussions. But relative to TXA and what TXA has meant to many partners for so many years, decades, we've been part of TXA since the inception of TXA.
Charter members.
And you have been, PC Corp has been involved for over 20 years. I think
23. I think
23 years.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing in my opinion. And when we do, and we're both very proud of it.
Absolutely.
It's serviced us very, very well for so many years. So what's going on with TXA?
You know what? I've often said when we get together with the membership, it's like coming home. It's family. And this is, I think, the power of the community is that these are your peers, but they're also your friends.
Mm-hmm.
They're the people that you trust. They're the people that you go to for advice and consultation. They're people who obviously share the same challenges in some cases,
right,
the same interests, and it's really quite lovely. And I mean, as far as the journey that we've both had in this community, we've seen the tremendous evolution from where the community started pretty much as a group of friends and I guess you would say almost competitors coming together, but understanding that there was an opportunity for all of us to grow together.
A greater good,
the ability to help each other out. Initially was based on geography. So we're in Western Canada. We have offices in Edmonton and Calgary. But what the community did for us originally was gave us that reach to be able to address client concerns and needs in different geographies, whether it be Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal. And what has evolved is not only that capacity and that scale, but just the sense of being able to tap into people who have expertise in certain niche areas and emerging technologies. And that's where I think there's a huge benefit. So not only we're sharing our highs and our lows working with each other, we're also understanding how we can leverage each other's capabilities to better service our clients.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been very obvious to me coming from the outside of the group. There's always been something very special about how you work with each other, and it's just gotten stronger through the years. I mean, it is, TrustX Alliance is clearly the most mature in market, and it just seems to be getting better every year. So good for you and the members of TXA, and also good for Ingram Micro and their organization to continue to support it.
Well, and I don't want to discount the fact that it's also thanks to great partners like HP for contributing what they do to the community, because the community couldn't exist without this three-legged stool, where basically we bring together the members with the expertise and the reach in the market, as well as obviously the strength of Ingram Micro as a leading world-class distributor. But the manufacturers bring a tremendous amount of value to the community just because of the level of engagement and involvement that you allow us. And I think to myself, again, as a regional organization, a regional VAR and MSP in Western Canada, without being in the GTA,
right,
we wouldn't have the strength and depth of connection to HP if it wasn't through this community, because we would have never had an opportunity to meet people like you. So I think that in itself is a real benefit to what the community is.
Thank
That brings
goodness
people
you feel
together.
that way.
It's an ecosystem, right? So
Sure.
this is what we have to realize always, is that the industry that we serve and have the opportunity to affect change, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. We need each other to be able to leverage our shared solutions, our intellectual capacities, and
opportunities, challenging times.
Absolutely.
Yeah, changing times, all of that. This morning we had a brief chat. We were talking about AI a little bit, and I think basically my question to you was, what are you seeing in the market in terms of how customers are thinking about it? But you said something that was, kind of interesting to me. Is you kind of summed it up by saying really confusion and curiosity.
Yeah,
And tell me, share please what you shared with me today. Just
sure.
I really like that.
Well, I think this is both the opportunity and the challenge of our industry is that we are a technology industry. So we get really excited about the technology. What we sometimes fail to realize or forget to think about is what are we solving for? So when we come up with big data, cloud,
Mm,
blockchain, AI, we lead with the term, but we don't lead with what the promise of that solution could mean to organizations. And when I think of when we engage with our clients, I always think I mirror up the conversation that I've got to solve for one of four things. I've got to basically be able to increase their productivity, reduce
hmm.
their cost, mitigate risk, or enhance experience. And if I can't do one of those things, it's probably not worth having the conversation.
Right.
When I think of what AI can do, I try not to use the two letters. I try and ask the question about what are you trying to solve for and allow us to help underpin that solution
Yeah.
with whatever
Yep.
technologies are relevant at the time. And when it comes to AI, because again, we've led with the technology term, and I still remember people saying, well, you got to go to your clients and say, what's your AI strategy? I have no idea. I bet they have
Yeah.
no idea what their AI strategy is because they don't know what it can do. And that's where I think the opportunity is for all of us is to help them contextualize and understand what it can do for them as it relates to their business and whatever challenges they're trying to overcome. So right now the confusion is because there's this big term out there, this all-encompassing term that can mean machine learning, it can mean
It's
advanced search, it
overwhelming.
can mean
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
agentic,
Yeah.
all these things. But now it's going back to the base question: what am I solving for? How am I helping you? And that's where also the curiosity comes into play, because I think people now have used the public platforms as their sandbox. They're starting to, test the waters a little bit to understand what it can do. But then after you've done however many cat pictures or made fun memes, the question now is, okay, now what can I do to make this drive this into my business and solve some problems?
Yeah. Excellent. I really love that response. I think it resonates. It would resonate with a lot of people that are kind of in the world that we live in today. And thank you very much for that. So you've been with TXA for a long period of time. You have new members. How are the new members embracing, and kind of like what are they bringing that maybe is a little bit different, apart from generationally being quite
Sure.
different? Have you seen anything that is kind of unique to the evolving not people, or the people that are now coming into TrustX, the new members? How have you seen that? Because listen, I mean, it's been working really well for a long, long time, and you never kind of want to mess with the magic.
No.
But yet there's new members coming on board, and how is that kind of coming along?
Well, you know what? I think the nice thing is that this is a journey. Life's a journey. Our industry's a journey.
Yeah.
That our relationship with our partners and the TrustX community is a journey. And the nice thing is that there's an on ramp for everybody. And because we have that mature, robust community and the foundation in place, we basically allow people to come in, and we've often used the term TrustX on your terms. So whether or not you're willing to fully embrace the concept of community and open up your business to inspection and
Right.
criticism and provide feedback to others on what you're doing and how they can do their jobs
Yeah.
better, to people who are maybe a little bit more guarded and need to
Right.
take a wait and see approach, or people who are have specific areas of expertise, whether that be in emerging technologies or niche technologies, helping them understand how we can basically increase their scale and their scope by offering new markets and new clients for them to work with. So really, a lot of what we do in the community is having an open, honest conversation about the expectation. So the expectation, as it says in
Yep.
the name, is trust. It's a very high trust environment, much like IT is. Because if you think to yourself what IT is for your customers, we are the keepers of your information. And in a lot of cases, we probably have a more robust understanding of your business than maybe even some of your associates or the business partners themselves
Yeah.
have, because we have access to everything.
Yes.
When we open ourselves up to other community members and to the manufacturers and to Ingram, we have to have that same level of trust. So when we go into an engagement with a new prospect or potentially a new member, we give them our experience.
Hmm.
We ask them what they're looking to solve for, and then we try and find those elements where there's a connection or a fit. And through that, some faster than others, they understand that while we're all competitors, there's tons of business for all of us to do just fine. And by helping each other, we all, the water goes up for all the ships.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's exactly how I feel about, like, I shouldn't say that. That's exactly what I would think it would be like, and what the benefits are, because there is a lot to learn from the new partners
Oh yeah.
in the ecosystem for
I
sure.
love their energy. I really love the
Yeah,
energy that they're
and
coming
I've
with.
I've tried to spend some time with them. I mean, they're the ones that I've spent some time with. The ones I'm specifically referring to aren't really the ones that are in our HP
Yeah,
ecosystem, because that's not what they do. That's not what they sell. They have their own. Most of them are managed service providers
sure.
of some sort, and it's amazing. Their journey, and as they're kind of you know growing in the industry, it's really amazing to see how really bright they are, and
They are.
they've got some really great ideas. They've done well this far. There's nothing that says they're not going to do better. It's kind of really it's great, because it just kind of brings more spirit into the whole the
It does.
delivery.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. So, look, I'm just going to kind of wrap it up. I wanted to say thank you very much for your time and for your partnership for so many decades. Let's just
Yeah,
call it out, decades.
it's been a while.
It's been a long time, and we've been great. And you're not only professional, but you're also a very kind person.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for all that you've done with us. Your strategy. Of course, you're going to say hello to Isabel
I
for me
will, absolutely.
and everyone else. But thank you for working with us, and thank you for continuing to support such an incredible uh, you know, uh, all the members of TXA. These are wonderful people with great businesses, and it's just great to see that you're still in there and you're fighting
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, it is fun because again, when I think of the journey, I keep on referring to when I started again back in 1996, it was LaserJet threes and compact Desk Pro.
Unfortunately, those LaserJet threes are still around.
I know, right? Which I think is a testament to what HP was and is as far as an engineering and an innovative company. But at the same time, it is the strength of the partnerships that have really, I think, earned you
Oh,
the respect and the trust that we have with you. And again, when I think of the innovation and the technology and what HP is doing around, for example, the AI PC, the the continued innovation, the continued curiosity on how we can service our clients better continues. So it's really been fun working with some of the newer technologies that you're bringing to market that allow us to help from that curiosity perspective that our clients have, help them understand how these technologies that you offer could potentially work into those areas. So for us, when we take a look at how are we able to offer our clients that glimpse into the next phase of the industry and how they can better their organizations, it's thanks to those innovations and technology pieces that we can do it. And I'm really looking forward to working more closely with the teams to better understand what's next, because that's also a feature of our industry, is always trying to figure out how can we better our clients' experiences by leveraging the technologies that are here.
Getting ahead of it.
Getting ahead of it, taking away some of the mysticism, some of the confusion around it, and really driving solutions.
Excellent. Yes, excellent. Well, thank you very much, Jeffrey.
John, always a pleasure.
Anytime
you.
you're around or I'm around, I'll come in and come and see you, and you do the same.
Absolutely.
All right.
Done.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.